Live coverage continues from Stowe Stadium on the campus of Kalamazoo College of the 71st USTA National. Here in Kalamazoo, Carolyn Binder and Hap Osh along with you on the Public Media Network, streaming online on USTAboys.com. Got through some 16 singles to start day 3 of coverage. Now on the center court, the second round of 18 singles featuring a seeded and an unseeded player. Henrik Wiersholm, the 13th seed out of Kirkland, Washington, will face Matthew Nardella out of Manlius, New York. Wiersholm, a familiar face and name to the broadcast, as we said, a 13 seed. He received an automatic bye into the second round of the 18 singles. For Nardella, he defeated Mark Zhang in straight sets in the opening round of the 18 singles quite easily, 6-1, 6-0. And these two about to get underway. Henrik Wiersholm in the far court to start with the orange shirt, white hat, and Matthew Nardella serving to start the match. Lots more pace and tactic to the 18 singles as opposed to the 16s. We'll start this match love 15. Nardella going to second serve for the second consecutive time.
Court 9, second round, boys 18 singles.
That sails long, 15 all.
Jake Gober of Baltimore, Maryland, and Thomas Mayron of Monroe, Louisiana. Gober and Mayron, court 9.
Wiersholm with another errant shot there off the second serve from Nardella, 30-15. The lefty going to the second serve once again. And a double fault, 30 all.
Sorry for being tardy to join the match, Carolyn.
Hap Osh rejoining us at center court.
Interesting match. Henrik Wiersholm, if you remember, last year's 16 champion. Really good, impressive player. Surprised a lot of people last year. Was rock solid throughout the tournament.
And to open his bid in the 18s as the 13 seed is quite impressive. They're deuced to open the match with Matthew Nardella serving.
Matt Nardella, the much taller player. Got to get those serves in. Henrik Wiersholm is not going to give you a lot of easy points. Nicely done, Henrik Wiersholm.
Paints the sideline. Wiersholm with the early break opportunity.
Well played. It was a bad luck for Nardella. He had the forehand volley. It hit the net cord. That gave Wiersholm the opportunity to dig it out. Just a bad break. Unlucky break for Matt Nardella. Nice spinning second serve, but the backhand error.
In the early break, Henrik Wiersholm, the 13th seed, with the early service break and advantage in this match.
You can tell Henrik Wiersholm, when you look at him, he's not real big physically, and he's kind of lean, but he covers the court extremely well. He's got great hands. Just the kind of player that what you would call an all-court player. He's got the ability to play on the baseline. He can move forward. We've seen him in doubles. He's actually pretty good at the net. Just a solid all-around player.
How do the seedings work? So someone like Wiersholm coming up from the 16s, how does he earn the 13 seed?
Well, once all players have been accepted into the tournament, there's a committee that works on the seeding, and they check their current match records overall, and they go head-to-head matches, players playing in the various districts around the country, and they come up with a seeding basis, 1 through 32. So in this case, Wiersholm, having won the 16s, that helps him, but that was last year. He must have had a good solid record in the 18s this year to be able to become the 13th seed in the 18s.
We replayed the point on center court, and Wiersholm goes to a second serve, and then
Forehand error.
love 15.
Yeah, this is not based entirely on Wiersholm's performance last year. I mean, you recognize it. You know he was the 16 singles champion, but this year he had to play 18s, and they look at the record, and particularly head-to-head matches. Boy, some forehand errors. That's at least 2 forehand errors early for Henrik Wiersholm. He's shaking his head, and these are balls that in a practice environment anyway, he wouldn't miss.
Love 30. And a good first serve. And as we have said throughout the first 3 days of coverage, the first serve is all, paramount of importance to winning the point, and we see that in action there.
It's not an overpowering serve, just well placed.
Right.
Missed it.
It's wide.
Well played. Beautiful pickup. Low forehand volley, but the ball just floated outside the line. But you notice there when I mentioned about Henrik Wiersholm as an all-court player.
Yes.
He's comfortable on the baseline. He's comfortable moving forward. He's athletic.
2 break points now for Nardella.
Oh, forehand error. That's 3 forehand errors for Wiersholm. Game Nardella.
Matthew Nardella finishes the break, and we've got a break and a break to start this opening match of the second round of 18 singles coverage.
Some early match jitters by both players. But what I just noticed was 3 unforced errors by Henrik Wiersholm off the forehand side. Being aggressive, but still, those are balls. He's in position. You would think he'd handle those and get those back in play.
Are there extra nerves for Matthew Nardella coming in as the unseeded player in this match?
Potentially, but you can also think that Henrik Wiersholm is a 13th seed playing an unseeded player. He's also moved up in age group. He's last year's champion. And early in this match, he's making errors, and that kind of percolates around your head early in a match.
15 love.
Another forehand error. That's 4, actually. I don't have my screen. I'm just going to keep a little.
30 left.
You
didn't go get.
I didn't.
Your charting.
No,
your
I
charting
had to take
sheets
care of
in
personal
between.
business, but
That's all right.
I'll get those for the local matches. But nicely done. Opening down the line, he had the confidence to actually make that shot, even though his forehand really hasn't found a groove yet. Henrik Wiersholm had the confidence to hit that forehand down the line for a clean winner.
30-15.
As I remember Henrik from last year, he does not lack confidence.
Big serve there to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And 40-15.
Yeah, Matt Nardella is a physically developed player. Left-handed. Two big serves. Oh, called wide. I see a mark. Another big serve by Nardella, who's finding himself here. Yeah, he has.
Down the sideline and finishing the service game there, Matthew Nardella, the first hold of the match. Believe that or not.
Interesting early developments here. I mean, a little bit of a shaky start by Nardella in his opening service game. Henrik Wiersholm in his first service game shaky. He's broken. Now Matt Nardella holds to go up 2-1. Well, what we'll watch is whether or not Henrik Wiersholm can settle in and get consistent in this match, because I'm guessing Matt Nardella has kind of shaken off his early nerves and looks like he's ready to play.
Coverage continues all day long of the 71st USTA National Tennis Championships here in Kalamazoo. Carolyn Biner, Hap Hosh with you from Stowe Stadium on the beautiful campus of Kalamazoo College. The tournament in its 71st year, thanks in large part to the continuing support of corporate sponsors, including Millennium Restaurant Group, Miller Canfield, Carol Novak, Prudential Preferred Realtors, David Novak, DDS, NVNG Investments, and Orrin B. Hayes, all a part of those. Many, many sponsors, and lots of people thankful that they continue to support this tournament, continue to bring it here to this community. 75 years, or 71 years, I should say, and running strong. Henrik Wiersholm serving down 1-2. First set, second round of 18 singles coverage here on day 3.
Yeah, big forehand. When he gets it in, although he's not big in stature, Henrik Wiersholm can really strike the ball. Very different from that match we saw just previously, where both players really not hitting out entirely. Both of these guys. Oh, that's an unforced error on the backhand side for Nardella.
Is that just player development, because we were looking at 16 singles this morning?
It's part of it, yeah. Physical development and just their match play and their instruction and drilling as players. 18 singles is a different world, especially physically. Oh, there's the forehand opening, netted by Henrik Wiersholm.
30-15.
He recognized it. The ball was short. It sat up to his forehand. He was going to crack it down the line to the opening. Just caught the net. This might be a difficult match for Henrik Wiersholm, because Matt Nardella can really serve. Deep. Deep, deep, deep.
30 all now.
Yep.
Being the seeded player, Henrik Wiersholm got a bye into this second round of action. Matt Nardella, first round winning easily, 1-0. And I was going to ask your opinion if you thought there was an advantage to Wiersholm not playing. He's obviously more well rested, or is there an advantage to Nardella having some experience, albeit a very easy first round for the unseeded player?
At this level, these players are so well conditioned, it really doesn't matter. Great
Down
shot.
the
Henrik
line.
Wiersholm down the line, threaded the needle. But yeah, both of these players, when you get to the 18s, particularly at the level of a seeded 18 player, they've played so much tennis and their conditioning is typically so good that unless it's a tremendously hot and humid day, late in the tournament. Oh. Great shot by Nardella. That ball was going to land in. Henrik Wiersholm had to make the backhand volley, netted the ball. But in particular for a player like Henrik Wiersholm, playing 18s for the first time, if he goes deep in the tournament, you know, it's going to be kind of wear and tear and fatigue.
Right.
Here on Sunday morning, no, the energy levels are at full.
We're at deuce here on center court. Henrik Wiersholm serving.
Again, Henrik Wiersholm showing his all-court game. He does not hesitate to attack a short ball.
Advantage Wiersholm.
Big serve to the tee. Wiersholm holds, gets it at 2.
2 games off, first set. Second round action of boys 18 singles from Stowe Stadium on the campus of Kalamazoo College. Also have singles action happening over at Sorensen Courts, Western Michigan University. And now Matthew Nardella serving at 2-all in the first set.
Not the way you want to open up your service game, with a double fault against the 13 seed, who hasn't looked like he's found his rhythm yet. So you might want to, you know, if I'm Matt Nardella, I want to keep the pressure on that 13 seed, and that's getting my first serves in.
3 faults in a row. Love 15.
Oh, Wiersholm helped him out with that very aggressive two-hand backhand return. Very aggressive off the second serve.
15 all. Replay the point.
Break for Matt Nardella. That first serve was going to be 2 feet, 3 feet long. He gets to do the point over, gets another first serve. Oh, that forehand sailed on him. .30.
Nice serve, backhand volley to the opening.
Set
Well
himself
done by
up for
Matt
that
Nardella.
one. 30
Very
all.
well done.
Follows that up with a netted first serve.
Yeah, he's tossing through the sun on this side. He's a left-handed player, so on that toss, as he goes up in the sky, he's got to battle the sun. And as I mentioned in an earlier match, not only is it that your toss can go through the sun and you've got to strike the ball up in the air, but by the time you look in the court, your eyes have to adjust to try to pick up the next shot.
And there are no clouds in the sky today, practically. They're just few and far between.
Flat. Okay, yep, the chair umpire detected that as well.
Henrik Wiersholm starting to kind of just let a few things get to him here and there, but those little things start to mount up, and Matthew Nardella holds up 3-2 first
The longer this first set goes close, the more pressure shifts to Henrik Wiersholm, the number 13 seed.
Yeah.
You've got an unseeded player in Matt Nardella who, when he looked at the draw and he saw he was going to be picking up a 13 seed, you know, in the second round, there's not a lot of pressure on him. He's got an opportunity. The pressure will mount the deeper we get into this first set.
Matthew Nardella, the unseeded player between these two. Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed. And Wiersholm trails 2-3 first set. Taking his time to get to the baseline, how he continues to respond, and I think you're absolutely right. The longer this thing is close, the more you're going to start to see the little things for Wiersholm pile up and start to affect him. But here he is serving 2-3 first set.
Matt Nardella looks like a confident player to me, so
yeah.
It's not like he's going to wilt and back away. Big spinning slice serve by Wiersholm, handcuffed Nardella. He framed it.
15 love.
Oh, almost off the frame with that serve. Henrik Wiersholm forced to play a lot of second serve balls so far. Kind of a gift, unforced error by Matt Nardella. Nice slide serve wide. Ooh. Got bailed out a little bit.
Wiersholm, though, getting that first serve in, and that set him up to at least compete in that point and give himself a shot at winning.
Well, he did win the point, but there was a great slice wide to the backhand side of Nardella. Wiersholm wanted to close in, but had to back up to the baseline. Another great wide serve.
Ties it up, 3-all on the hold, and after these two players traded service breaks, we've been right on point ever since. 3-all.
Well, when you look at Henrik Wiersholm, you don't expect a very big serve. He's not physically imposing, but he serves really well.
Nardella.
That was good.
Holding up on that. It caught the baseline, so love 15.
The wind pushed it just slightly out of his target range, and when he turned, he saw the ball land on the line. Love 15. Again, Wiersholm in, makes the volley. Beautiful
there
play.
It is, the fist pump from Wiersholm. Great tactics there by the 13 seed.
Well, that's why I describe him as an all-court player. because he does not stand on the baseline entirely and just bang away. He can move forward, and he's very athletic. Again, that's going to push long.
That is going to be pushed long. 15-30. Second serve coming. A very short and compact service stroke for Nardella, for as tall and physically big as he is. I called wide. 30 all. Nardella clawing back in this game.
Done. It's going to land long. Floated long.
Floated long. 40-30. Thought maybe early in the game we'd see another service break, but Nardella clawing back.
Big first serve, drop shot. Wiersholm will get there, just isn't able to get the ball.
Nardella finishes. Now up 4-3 first set. And a frustrating kick from Henrik Wiersholm. He's lucky that the chair umpire didn't do something about that after.
There wasn't a blatant conduct issue, but you could tell the frustration was there. Henrik Wiersholm showing his quickness, but there was a good point by Nardella. Big first serve. He got a weak ball. He had an opening for a drop shot. Henrik Wiersholm was going to get there. He got there. He got his racket on it, and he was going down the line, but hit the net.
Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed, down 3-4. First set to Matthew Nardella, unseeded. Nardella easily 1-0 in his opening round of 18 singles play here at Stowe Stadium, and he's looking ever more confident, in my opinion, as this goes along. And as you noted earlier in the match, the longer this is as close as it is, as we move through this first set, the more pressure that's going to be on the 13th seed, Henrik Wiersholm. Yeah,
the pressure will mount on Henrik Wiersholm the longer this match goes and it stays tight. And Matt Nardella, an unseeded player, that's psychologically, it's going to be helpful to him to stay in this deep into the first set.
Wiersholm serving.
In fact, Nardella up 4-3.
Yeah.
Must be feeling really good about his chances here. A little bit of a break. The ball landed on the line. Whoa, great shot, Nardella.
Great shot there from Matthew Nardella.
Great coverage, long point.
Love 15. Wiersholm, a Kirkland, Washington native. Matthew Nardella, Manlius, New York. Replay of the first serve.
Big topspin forehands, but that one netted. Again, an unforced error off the forehand side for Henrik Wiersholm. He really likes to crack his forehands I've got unofficially 5 unforced errors off the forehand side already in this first set. They'll get there. Oh.
Great body control from Nardella. Just
he guessed right. He guessed right. He was there in position, just did not make the backhand volley.
The 18 singles match is continuing to be called out here from Stowe Stadium. Jack Murray, the Novi, Michigan native, going to take the court behind us and to our left. Excuse me, he's from Beverly Hills, Michigan, nonetheless a Michigan player.
Would have been a real interesting match to watch. We saw him here last year. We saw him yesterday, and he played extremely well yesterday. He won 0-1, I believe it was.
Taking on Samuel Tullis from Centerville, Utah. So we'll stay here on center court where Matthew Nardella is playing very well against the 13 seed Henrik Wiersholm.
I met Mr. Tullis and the elder Mr. Tullis the other day prior to the tournament. They were out here practicing.
Give a scouting report on him.
Good, solid player. It'll be a good, interesting match. The senior Mr. Tullis is faculty at BYU. Here we've got Henrik Wiersholm making ground stroke errors that just uncharacteristic for him. And pressure, I think he's starting to feel this pressure here.
Matthew Nardella breaking Wiersholm and now commanding 5-3 lead in this opening set, 18 singles action, round number 2.
This is a tough moment for the number 13 seed, Henrik Wiersholm.
Wiersholm and his back against the wall in this opening set, especially how Nardella's been serving. He's gone to the second serve, but he's been effective at holding. And one more hold, he'll have the first set in the books.
You see this sometimes in the 18s where a very, very good 16-year-old player, even a champion like Henrik Wiersholm, next level up in first year in the 18s, they go up against players that are more physically developed. It was there for Nardella. He played that point beautifully. Approach shot to the backhand corner. He had the volley on his forehand and just dumped it in the net. Tactically, though, well executed by Nardella.
Serve called long after a little discussion, so go second serve.
Nice first serve again by Nardella, makes the volley.
And
well
guessed
done.
right again that time and made the volley.
Very well done.
15 all.
Go, great. It's going in. Wiersholm got there.
And right
to the body.
feet.
Again, I'm going to point out the court coverage of Henrik Wiersholm. That was a pretty good drop volley. A lot of ground to cover for Wiersholm. He does it quite easily and makes a strong ball to the feet of Matt Nardella. Oh, we're trying to reposition the ball, kids. Wide. Oh,
that
double
was wide
fault.
too. One of the hardest things to do, close out a set.
Close out a set on your serve. That's one of the axioms of the tennis world, is closing out a set, and in particular, closing out a match on your own serve. Wide. There it is.
Wiersholm breaks, and now a little opening for him as he crawls back in. Now 4-5 opening set.
I think we've got drama.
Yeah,
That's what I think we've got.
we got drama brewing as Matthew Nardella had the prime opportunity to close this first set out, and he, just as I said, he'd been holding his serve just fine practically the entire start of the match up until then.
Well, it's going to be a tight match regardless of how this goes. This might be 3 sets, but
Yeah.
but Matt Nardella has established himself. He belongs on the court with the 13 seed. In fact, he's up 5-4. Pressure, huge pressure on Wiersholm on this service game to get himself even in the set.
What's the dichotomy of serving? Because you want to serve. It's hard to break service, but then when it comes to the final game to close out a set or close out a match, all of a sudden you can throw that out the window.
It's all mental. It's part of the psychology. I always say tennis is 3 things. And listen to these 3 things. And we'll ask Bob Wood up in the tower if he agrees. Tennis
Okay.
is geometry,
Okay.
physics, and psychology.
Okay.
Tennis, at its core, are those 3 things.
Well, I am horrid at geometry and physics, so maybe that explains a lot with my tennis game, but nonetheless, back to action here on center court. Wiersholm serving down 4-5.
Net cord lands in, will break for Wiersholm. Oh, a let.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And Nardella's got his hands on his hips saying that was really unfortunate for that ball to come flying in there.
Part of the game, and you cannot continue the point because a ball rolls on the court. One player may just be distracted by it, the other may not notice it, but the chair umpire must make that call. Wiersholm still struggling. Follows it in, well done. Forehand to the opposite corner. He knew he had Nardella stretched out, followed it into the net. Even if that ball had been over the net, Wiersholm was in position to make an easy volley. Excellent serve. Wide.
And
It's
that
out.
was-
It's out. Out. Oh, I believe the chair umpire is going to overrule and call it good.
Call it good. It is called good, and a little bit of a friendly break for Henrik Wiersholm,
Nardella looking at it. He hesitated on making the call, but
looking for Mark.
Dirty love. Oh, wide again. He'll close in.
Bit of a mishit on that overhead.
Oh, Wiersholm trying to get to the net, showing the athleticism when you first look at him, you don't expect he's
No.
that good of an athlete, but boy, the kid is.
I'm not. I mean, he looks like he could spread the court, but I'm surprised by the continual pop in his racket. Is what surprised me because he's not built like he has a lot of power.
Well, it's mechanics and timing. Well done by Wiersholm to get even in this first set.
And just when we thought maybe the unseeded player going to make a splash here in the opening set, the 13 seed Henrik Wiersholm saying, I'm not going down that easy.
Well, he might still make the splash. This, I think, is going to be a nail-biting match to the conclusion because I don't expect Nardella to back down and go away either.
Nardella serving 5-all first set.
Great hands.
What about that?
Unbelievable anticipation by Wiersholm. That's why he's also a good doubles player. Maybe better than good doubles player. He's a very good doubles player. Good instincts, good athleticism. And Nardella just flashed the heat a little bit on that first serve.
$15-all.
Oh, big
Going across
forehand
the court.
inside the line. Both players have settled in, and they're really starting to strike the ball.
30-15.
That early match nervousness is gone, Carolyn.
More heat coming off the racket
That's
there.
3 big
from
serves in a
Nardella.
row by Nardella.
40-15.
Went for number 4, caught the tape. A little bit of a loose forehand for Nardella.
40-30.
No,
That's
missed
wide.
it.
Deuce, and he's kicking himself right now, is Nardella, after having 2 game points on his racket.
I'll point out that Wiersholm would have covered that ball. As good a
Yes.
volley as it was, if it had landed on the line, Wiersholm was there to cover it. Ooh. Backhand volley, set up beautifully. He had the opening. Wiersholm just dumped it in the net, and he's really frustrated about it.
Slow walk back to the baseline.
Yeah, he's trying to collect his thoughts here.
Game point once again for Matthew Nardella.
Oh, that
Going wide.
went hard to the tee and missed it. You could hear the crack of the ball off those strings. Nardella took a full swing at that. Closing. Great point by Henrik Wiersholm.
Seems like there's not a whole lot of places he can't get to.
Yeah, he covers extremely well. And again, he plays more physical than you would think. When you first see him, you think maybe a baseline grinder. He's more than that.
So back to deuce.
Oh, bad miss hit. Tried to hook that forehand back cross court. Off the frame badly.
Break for Matthew Nardella. He would like to finish this off right now. Got to get those first serves in, though.
We have the rather young ball kids on the court today, and stray balls are a little more prevalent. That's the volley. He got there. What a great shot. Great dig by Nardella.
Talk about court coverage. Matthew Nardella has a little bit of his own. And now Nardella up 6-5 first set.
Henrik Wiersholm thought he had that point won. He was not expecting Nardella to dig that ball out. He did. Desperation lob. It lands just inside the line. Wiersholm unable to get the ball back in play.
Coverage continues of the 71st USTA National Championships from Stowe Stadium. Beautiful campus of Kalamazoo College. Carolyn Binder, Hat Posh along with you from center court at Stowe. At the 18 singles in their second rounds this morning, saw some 16 singles. Later on this afternoon, get some doubles in there for you as well. Glad to have you with us on the Public Media Network as well as USDAboys.com, streaming the wall-to-wall coverage. Thanks actually to Secant Technologies providing that service this year, and a good addition to the broadcast. And we've got some drama here on center court with the 13 seed Henrik Wiersholm and Matthew Nardella unseeded. Nardella 6-5 in the first set. And for two guys that are physically so different, their playing styles are very similar.
Yep. And my guess is that Matt Nardella, the older player, we know Henrik Wiersholm has moved up from 16s. He was a 16 singles champion last year. He'll got there. Great point. Wow. Just a great point.
Crowd filing in, applauding that as they should. Both players showing their court coverage. Nardella just with a slight advantage there. Love 15.
Yeah, big forehand by Henrik Wiersholm.
15 all.
Michigan player Jack Murray up 1-0 early in his second round 16 match, 18 match I believe it is.
Yeah, 18.
18s.
We're waiting the court assignment for Shelby Township products at Kowalski. As a miss hit off the racket of Henrik Wiersholm goes to the net.
Very, very tense moment for Henrik Wiersholm here. He's trying to get this first set to a tiebreaker. He's tossing into the sun on the south side of the court, so his ball toss will go up. He's got to look into the sun. Oh.
That's long.
Tried to take that ball early and it sailed long. Matt Nardella changing up the pace in the spin during that point. And then Wiersholm moved in, tried to take that two-handed backhand early. Short hop it, if you will, from baseball terms, and sailed it long.
Wiersholm on the brink here in the first set.
Nicely disguised drop shot, well executed by Wiersholm. He had his opponent 4 feet behind the baseline. Oh, we've got a stray ball kid. Oh, we don't have the ball kid paying attention. Lift your head up, see it right in front of you. Other one, no, my goodness. The chair umpire is going to let him go. Let's hope that does not come into play. Big forehand Wiersholm. Okay.
So break points fought off successfully by Henrik Wiersholm.
You heard the outburst from Matt Nardella. He knew that was
his opportunity right there. So now the all-important part of the game, and you say just
30 all. 30 all or deuce.
Yep, string.
You got to put 2 points together. That's going to land long. Wind pushed that slightly deep. Advantage Wiersholm. That's why I have our kids practice that all the time. They always ask, why don't we just play a regular game? I have them play a full set. They start every game at 30 all. And the whole idea is to teach yourself to win 2 points in a row. Wiersholm trying to get to a tiebreaker. Oh,
what
big
a return
forehand
there.
off the second serve. And it wasn't a bad second serve either. Kind of a slow kick serve, but hard to handle. Matt Nardella just rips a clean winner down the line.
Back to deuce.
Beautifully done by Henrik Wiersholm. He's a 13 seed this year, and you've got to expect he's going to be one of the top players next year. The kid just has really solid skill set.
Advantage Wiersholm. Now just 1 point away from forcing a first set tiebreak.
He had Nardella totally defensive. There it is.
Henrik Wiersholm forcing the first set tiebreak, and I can't say that this surprises me.
Nope.
From the onset of this match, we knew that I think both sets have the potential to go, and we might even see a third set.
They're going to be close, and we may have a 3-set dramatic boys 18 match here. Oh, the forehand got away from him.
Hit there.
Forehand got away from Matt Nardella. Short ball stayed low. 3-0 Mr. Murray out on court number 10.
It's Jack Murray, Beverly Hills native, cruising so far in his second round 18 match with Samuel Tullis.
Just unfortunate that timing and court assignment did not allow us to cover that match today. Not that the tennis is not entertaining in this match. Huge forehand. Wiersholm.
2-love in the tiebreak.
Oh my goodness.
Bad break on the serve for Henrik Wiersholm. Not exactly the right time for that.
Well, there's never a good time for that, but again, in a tie break, here we go, 1-2.
Because now you're letting Nardella back in.
Deep. Twos.
Now all tied at 2, and that's what happens. You give away those freebies, and now all of a sudden you go from up 2-0 to tied 2-all.
Oh my goodness.
And he gave it right back.
Ooh, an extremely loose double fault for Matt Nardella.
Wiersholm with a gift. Now 3-2.
No doubt about that. That forehand to the open corner set that up. Nardella, everything he could do just to dig that ball out, but an easy overhead for Wiersholm.
4-2 now for Wiersholm, and the players will switch sides in this first set tiebreak between the 13 seed Henrik Wiersholm and unseeded Matthew Nardella. Certainly he's got to be thinking Nardella. There's so many opportunities he can look back on in this first set to say, I should have closed it out here, I should have closed it out here, and really seized the opportunities that Wiersholm was giving him.
None of that matters now, though.
Yeah.
You're in a tie break, but they had at 5-4. Nardella had his best opportunity, wasn't able to close. He finds himself in a tie break and just dig and scratch out points. Number 1 seed.
Wiersholm will go to a second serve, announcing the continuing coverage over on court 2. The number 1 seed, Gage Breimer, we saw him in the exhibition on Friday night.
That was going to sail on him.
Matthew Nardella now 3-4, clawing back, as you said.
Court 7 is Kowalski behind us from Novi, Michigan, I believe he's from.
Shelby Township.
Shelby Township, excuse me.
Taking
Shelby
on,
Township.
Brandon Sutter out of El Dorado Hills, California. And with that, 4-all in the tiebreak here on center court. Matthew Nardella continuing to scratch and claw in this first set tiebreak. Good touch to get there. Almost got there. And just like that, Matthew Nardella now leading 5-4. First set tiebreak. Wiersholm serving though, so he'll have an opportunity here.
Nardella pretty conservative with that backhand, and it cost him. Ball landed short. Wiersholm took advantage.
5-all now, and it looked like Nardella hesitated on that return for some reason, like he got crossed up by something, trying to read it.
Maybe he was trying to guess, but
he didn't look comfortable from the onset of that point.
But all of those backhands landed short, and Wiersholm eventually took advantage of one of them to win the point. About 6 feet long with that first serve.
You don't think he's pumped up or anything?
That was going to go long. Oh, nope.
Called in though.
That's wide. Nardella looked at the line. He gave a look after the point was over, and he's wondering if whether he played an out ball. It could be a huge turning point here.
And
set
now
point.
Matthew, yep, set point. Nardella on the ropes now.
Oh my goodness.
They don't
must have called it long. It's called it good.
6-all.
Yeah, it was paint.
They don't have the gun up, but that had to have cracked at least triple digits, if not 110.
It was a big serve. That's
Maybe
for sure.
Right to the tee.
Right on the white, and Wiersholm looked at the chair to see if he could make the out call, and he didn't. That was.
So the players switch sides and getting your money's worth in our opening set.
No question, we're getting outstanding tennis now from both players.
Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed, and unseeded Matthew Nardella, tied at 6 in the first set tiebreak. Explain the format from here, if you would, on the tiebreak with them tied at 6.
Okay, we'll keep going until one player wins by 2. Ooh, a little tight on that forehand.
An opening here for the 13 seed, Wiersholm.
Yeah, it was a tight forehand by the left-hander, Matt Nardella. Wiersholm with the set on his racket. And he puts it away.
Wiersholm 8-6 in the tiebreak, and we'll take the first set. Now, what is the mindset moving forward for Matthew Nardella, who we said had ample opportunities to close this first set out, found himself in even a tight tiebreak, falling in both of those categories, and now he's got to go out and play set number 2.
Well, he's frustrated, but if he can take this time in between sets and collect his thoughts and say, I had my chances, what I'm doing is working, I've got to keep that up, I've got to start taking advantage of some openings that I'm having, cut down on my errors. This beginning of the second set is critical for Nardella. He does not want to find himself, because of kind of the emotional energy he invested in the first set, he doesn't want to find himself in a hole to begin the second set. But the kid can play with the number 13 seed. There's no question Matt Nardella belongs on this court. He's demonstrated it's not a fluke. He's got a game that can push the number 13 seed, Henrik Wiersholm.
Wiersholm 8-6 in the first set tiebreak, and the second set here on center court will get underway momentarily. Meanwhile, taking a look around Stowe Stadium, getting set to go on our right-hand side, a tall test for an unseeded player. Terrence Whitehurst, I should say, out of Tallahassee, Florida, getting set to play the top-seeded Gage Breimer from Irvine, California. That happening on court number 2. We've got some Michigan contingent out here in Jack Murray. Beverly Hills had a 3-0 lead.
3-1. 3-1 at the moment.
3-1 in the first set from Samuel Tullis and Ed Kowalski, opening the second round action from Shelby Township, Michigan, with Brandon Sutter from El Dorado Hills, California. Meanwhile, here on center court, Carolyn Biner and Hap Hosh along with you for Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed, in a tiebreak. Took it 8-6 over Matthew Nardella, and so it's key that Nardella stay composed and don't let this second set slip away from you right from the onset. In particular, he's going to be starting it off receiving with Henrik Wiersholm serving. So again, the psychological swing here could be a service break out of the gate for Nardella could be huge. Henrik Wiersholm finds the corner. That curved
well
in
done.
like a slow-moving curveball. Found the corner. Service ace.
And again, he finds the lines. Henrik Wiersholm looks like he's relaxed. He won that first set, and suddenly he's very relaxed, striking the ball well. .30 love. Oh, and an extremely loose forehand by Nardella, 40 love. This is what I was afraid of. Having dropped that first set to the number 13 seed, Matt Nardella's head is not clear, and he finds himself in a hole, love 40, to open the second set.
Christopher Eubanks to the tower. Christopher Eubanks to the tower.
Okay, fought off 1 point. Oh,
Fought off 2, 40-30.
Okay, interesting little moment here in the game. Henrik Wiersholm trying to get out in front in the second set. Nicely done.
Great touch there.
And Nardella deuce. Fought back from love 40 to deuce. Good job by Matt Nardella.
Wiersholm, I think, going to grab a new racket, it looks like. And that was absolutely imperative that Matt Nardella not let this slip away from him as easily as it appeared that it was going to, and now looking a little more confident that he's forced deuce.
What is our delay? The tracking down the proper tennis balls, I believe.
I think so, after the equipment change from Henrik Wiersholm.
Oh,
wow.
That hooking serve.
Crossed him up.
Came into the body and badly framed forehand from Nardella.
Game point now for Wiersholm.
Oh,
And another
my
miss
goodness.
hit. Henrik Wiersholm takes game number 1 of set number 2, and it was, I think, positive for Matt Nardella to force the game into a deuce, but then it just fell apart.
Well, his mishit backhand, mishit forehand return of serve. So, again, it'll look bad on the board, but for Matt Nardella, they're on serve. If he holds serve here, he's in the match. This is a pressure-packed service game for Matt Nardella. Having dropped the first set in such difficult fashion, this service game is critical to this match.
Matt Nardella serving 0-1 second set. Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed, 8-6 in the tiebreak for the first set. We are certainly getting our money's worth out of this match between a 13 seed and an unseeded player. And point number 1 goes to Nardella.
Of Las Vegas, Nevada, and William Griffin of Fresno, California.
Oh, big first serve, but Wiersholm back in the point. Oh, great guess by Wiersholm. Almost got that ball back into play.
Great movement there by Wiersholm, but just into his body and couldn't quite get the positioning on the racket to get it over. 30 love now.
Great serve. Great first serve by Matt Nardella.
40 love now for Matt Nardella, trying to stay on serve in this second set.
Nicely done. Well played game by Matt Nardella.
Relative ease for Matt Nardella in this service game. One of the easiest games we've seen yet in this match.
Doesn't look like he's going to go away. The unseeded player has decided he's going to stay and fight the number 13 seed.
Still awaiting a couple of court assignments for 18 singles matches upcoming here as we roll along through the late morning, day number 3 of USTA National Championship coverage from Stowe Stadium.
Serve was long.
Love 15 for Henrik Wiersholm as he serves at 1-all in the second set.
Ooh, again, a forehand, return a serve.
15 all.
Got a good crowd in the grandstands, and we've got a good crowd on the back courts as well. Lots of interesting matches today. Who's going to get there? So will Wiersholm.
And wow, what back and forth play. These two very physically different looking players have such even match games and styles that...
Well, they're both good athletes. They cover the court extremely well. They've already demonstrated that throughout the first set of this match. Nardella wanted to come in behind that, but decided just a split second late.
It's on the line.
Ball was deep.
40-15.
Murray up 4-3 in his match. His first set is tightened up. It looked like he was in cruise control at 3-0. Ooh, miss hit, but it lands in. What a break for Nardella. Tough point for both players. Wiersholm never gave up. An inside-out forehand.
Wiersholm holds. Now up 2-1 in the second set after taking the first set in the tiebreak. 8-6. And continuing to just be evenly matched, and it's going to be a grinded out second set. But if this continues, you might to just start think that the 13 seed has the advantage moving forward, already having one set in his back pocket.
Yeah, it's evenly matched players. You look at this on paper this morning and you see 13 seed and unseeded player, and you might not expect to have this kind of entertaining match, but both players are playing well. It is entertaining. It's good quality tennis. The first couple games were filled with nerves, but ever since then it's been high quality tennis.
Henrik Wiersholm undergoing the wardrobe change, moving to a yellow shirt, keeping the white hat. Probably feels good to get a fresh shirt on especially after the first set. Matt Nardella will serve down 1-2, second set.
Again, he just wants to hold serve and look for an opportunity to get a break and get ahead in this set. It looks bad on the scoreboard. You're always trailing, but it's just a psychological trick. Great dig by Wiersholm. It's going to land in. Use the wind. Wide.
Out. Wow, what a point there by Henrik Wiersholm.
Singles. Daniel O'Connor of Boca Raton, Florida, and Jasper Coonan of St. Charles, Illinois. O'Connor and Coonan on court 9. boys 18 singles, Colin Alvarado of Yuba City, California, and Paul Osterbahn of Kalamazoo, Michigan.
They're announcing the continuing coverage of the 18 singles, and we have determined that Paul Osterbahn will be on court number 3 as we are watching a center court match here between the 13 seed Henrik Wiersholm and unseeded Matthew Nardella. So we'll make a determination in the next 15 minutes or so. Probably shift over to court number 3 to catch the entirety of the Paul Osterbahn match as he takes on second round opponent coming up here, slated for 11:30. Colin Altamirano from Yuba City, California, the opponent for Kalamazoo's own Paul Osterbahn. So we'll reset for that when the players come out and get set for that match, and I'm sure the crowd on hand here at Stowe Stadium will be making their way over there momentarily. Meanwhile, here on center court, Matt Nardella serving. Down 1-2. Great cross-court movement there, and he does indeed hold. Nardella evens things up at 2 here in the second set. Henrik Wiersholm, the 13 seed, taking the first set in a tiebreak, 8-6. The large Michigan contingent out on numerous courts around Stowe Stadium this morning. Jack Murray, Beverly Hills, Michigan, taking on Samuel Tullis. He was in a tight first set at last check, 4-3 for Murray. Ed Kowalski from Shelby Township behind us, taking on Brandon Sutter. Here on center court, tied all up at 2 in the second set. Henrik Wiersholm is serving. And a bad miss hit off the frame.
Okay, to our technical crew in the tower, because of the importance of the match featuring the local player on court number 3, we will transition to the coverage of the Paul Osterbahn match on court 3. We'll stay with this match with Henrik Wiersholm and Matt Nardella as long as we can, but as the other players begin warming up their serves, we'll transition our coverage from court 1 at Stowe Stadium to court 3 at Stowe Stadium. Really good crowd on hand, and it's still pouring in. People in the grandstands and the side bleachers, and lots of people watching matches on the backside courts at Stowe Stadium. Lots of Michigan kids on court all at the same time. Murray of Beverly Hills, Michigan. Kowalski of Novi. And now Paul Osterbahn of Kalamazoo, about to start warming up on court number 3. Becoming a little bit of a struggle for Matt Nardella now. Maybe his energy level has dropped just slightly. He's even in this second set, but got to find a way to keep his energy up. Mishandles that first serve from Henrik Wiersholm and slaps his shoe out of frustration. Oh, pulled that wide. Kind of a strange place to try a drop shot behind the baseline off of a high ball to the backhand, and Matt Nardella just pulled the shot well wide into the doubles alley.
40-15.
Double fault. Henrik Wiersholm really frustrated with that. Nice dig, but a good overhead by Wiersholm. Good effort by Matt Nardella, but his defensive lob sat up in the wind a little bit and Wiersholm put it away. (3-2) Wiersholm in the second set. He won the first set 7-6 in a very tightly contested match. Tight tiebreaker as well. 8-6 in the tiebreaker. Matt Nardella of Manlius, New York isn't going away. Wiersholm of Kirkland, Washington. I believe that's it's a Seattle suburb area near the University of Washington. Nice serve by Nardella, but nets the overhead. Boy, got what he wanted. He was just a step too deep to line up that overhead and ended up netting it. One more step in would have solved that issue. Backhand sails long for Wiersholm. Quite frustrated.
Draw sheet number 2 is now available at the Pro Shop free. Draw sheet number 2 available at the Pro Shop.
Oh, that's going to go long.
2-1. 2-1.
Big forehand to the open corner by Wiersholm. Constructed that point beautifully. Worked Matt Nardella to his forehand corner. Opened up a spot and then used his own forehand to hit it. Nope. Wanted to call wide. No. I think that was a thumbs up. I think it was a pure ace, yep. Wasn't exactly sure of Wiersholm's signal on that point.
Wait, please.
Wait, we had a ball roll down to the court. Tried to pull Wiersholm wide and follow it with a serve and volley play. Did Matt Nardella, but the ball was wide. Second serve coming. Oh my goodness, and a badly mishit second serve. Four games to 2, a break point. Just a brutal moment for Matt Nardella. Wiersholm wasting no time, getting right into play. He smells it. He smells the finish line. Okay, we are about to announce the transition to our coverage of the Paul Osterbahn match on court number 3. If our technical crew can help us out. Carolyn Binder has returned. I'll let her open this match while I go get a bottle of water myself for hydration. It's going to be a long day up here on the tower. So Carolyn, we're going to transition to our match on court number 3.
All right, thanks, Hap. And with that, we will welcome you to continuing coverage